Good evening and welcome to Growing Up Strong. I'm Tony May. Each week we bring you resources and information on how to help your family grow up healthy, safe, and strong. This evening, we're targeting the newest members in your family or maybe the unborn members. Those of you waiting to see if the rooms are going to be pink or blue, the aunts and uncles and grandparents, listen up because tonight is all about pre-pregnancy and having a healthy birth. Welcome, Tanya Palmer. You are a program director with Children's Services Council. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Very nice to be here, Tony.
Tanya, you have such a wealth of information at Children's Services Council. We're going to start with just prospective parents, those who might be watching, thinking, ooh, we're trying to get pregnant right now. We hope to have a baby in a year. What kind of advice and what kind of information is out there for them?
So, it's great when we do hear about individuals who are thinking about becoming pregnant and trying to do the very best they can to be as healthy as possible. Part of that is obviously working with their physician and talking to them about their plans and making sure that their weight is under control, any chronic diseases, any medications that the physician may recommend changing up so as to ensure that there's going to be healthy development with their fetus. But there's also the other aspects that are equally important. So understanding their social support network, managing their stress. Are they fully prepared and understanding the responsibilities that will come with this? So from a financial standpoint and sort of thinking about what is it going to look like when the baby's here and what are we going to do with childcare and kind of getting all those pieces in place so that way they're as comfortable and as stress-free as possible as they begin the journey of becoming expectant parents.
And there's so much information out there now. I was a parent 21 years ago and we all grabbed what to expect when you're expecting.
Exactly.
But by that time you were expecting.
Right.
And what you're saying, and I love that Children's Services Council says, even before you're expecting, get ready. Maybe make some financial decisions. And you made the good point before we went on the air, your career as a mom. Mm-hmm. Are you going to stay in your career? And if so, that means childcare. And what does that look like as far as financial and the actual childcare center? And you at Children's Services Council, I know the programs really start way before the pregnancy. And then once pregnant, those even ramp up further.
Exactly. So there's a couple of programs that I'd want to sort of maybe talk a little bit about. One of the things that is a little concerning is the percentage of pregnancies that aren't necessarily planned. And so this idea of really encouraging all young women and men to think about kind of this reproductive health plan, what you want to do with your goals, what you need to make good decisions, career-wise, education-wise. And one of the programs that we have in place with several partner agencies is the Teen Outreach Program, which is really focusing on middle school and high school students and the type of good critical decisions that they make in terms of thinking about their future state, because we don't want to see individuals parent before they're ready, emotionally, physically, financially. But then moving forward, there's a great deal of effort that we're trying to put in terms of understanding the impacts and the decisions that people make as they're thinking about becoming pregnant. So definitely encouraging the idea of well women care and making sure that you've got an ongoing relationship with your gynecologist. And just thinking about the types of supports that would help you be successful in your pregnancy. If you believe that you're pregnant or you're, kind of anticipating that, when you go to your first prenatal care appointment, there's the opportunity to complete the Healthy Start prenatal risk screen. And that's an opportunity for you and your physician to really think about some of the medical risks that you may face, social concerns, other risk factors that may impact on your ability to have a baby born healthy. Based on that Healthy Start risk screen, then there's the opportunity to connect you with ongoing services. And Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies is a great resource that we have in our community. They sort of serve as the entry point for ongoing services.
So when somebody's possibly pregnant or trying to get pregnant, once they're pregnant, they can complete this little quick survey. Exactly. And a lot of that I found very interesting. It isn't just about, as you said earlier, your weight, your nutrition, your blood pressure. It's about that surrounding support system.
Definitely.
Is it healthy? Is it calm?
Exactly.
Are you under financial stress? Are you looking for a job? Is your husband out of work? All that really plays into a healthy pregnancy?
Definitely. We know that the amount of stress that a woman will experience has a great deal of her impact in terms of of the ongoing development of the baby. We know that chronic stress will more likely result in a baby being born too soon, and so a premature birth. And so, that's something that we want to have a good sense of and be able to partner with that family of thinking about what do you have that are the assets, the protective factors, and then what are the risks that maybe need some shoring up, and how do we work with you in making sure that you have the optimum condition for your pregnancy.
Now, I know it's hard to get optimum condition, even in the best of worlds.
Definitely.
But I know you helped me remember that 13% of the pregnancies in Palm Beach County are still premature. Is that correct?
That's correct.
But the good side of that is the medical community is so much more advanced, obviously due to technology, that these preemies have a better chance.
Definitely.
Are there also supports out there once you're in that situation that Children's Services Council and Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies have for anyone out there that's listening that may have a preemie?
Sure. So one of the partnerships that we have is with Home Safe. They actually are the entry agency for our families once the baby is born. There's a hospital liaison that's outposted in each one of the birthing hospitals. It's an opportunity to welcome the family and their new baby into our community, and also review with them the Healthy Start infant risk screen. So just like prenatally, there's a universal risk screen, there's also one for infants. And again, it's going to be looking at some of the medical conditions of the infants, but it's also going to look at some of the social factors with that family. Do they have access to a payer source so they can make sure this baby has ongoing access to the pediatrician? Is the father involved? We know that all of that has implications in terms of an ongoing development of that child. For a baby who's been born preterm or perhaps has spent some time in NICU, neonatal intensive care unit, definitely there's an opportunity to engage that family and see what types of support services they may need. We have an array of programs available through something called the Healthy Beginnings System. So they may need to have access to a nurse who will do some home visits with them and help them understand how to take care of the newborn and some of the situations that may occur as they transition perhaps from a NICU into their home. We also have programs that are just aimed at helping parents who maybe have questions about a child's development and how they really can promote that ongoing health and development of their child. So depending on what the needs are of the family, there's an opportunity to really sit down, review that, and then make a referral for services that would be of benefit.
In a moment, we're actually going to meet one of these nurses that helps moms like this. But if I know that my home may not be the healthiest, either I don't have the right food in the fridge, or maybe I do have a stressful situation. Perhaps I don't have a working car to get me to my job, and I'm trying to really have a healthy pregnancy, but maybe I don't have the blocks in place to do so.
Right.
Is there people and programs out there ready and willing to help anyone, or are there certain guidelines that these women have to meet?
So really, what the understanding is that unfortunately, every woman could potentially be at risk for a poor birth outcome or ongoing child development. So there's not necessarily hard and fast criteria around, let's say, socioeconomic status or certain risk factors. If either mom or the physician believe that there's a need for ongoing services, a referral is made to Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. Same thing if when the hospital liaison meets with the family and understands that there's a potential risk or some resources that would benefit mom and the new baby, again, a referral will be made to Home Safe. At that point in time, there really is then I think a discussion and sort of an assessment of what family has available to them and what their ongoing risks are. Some of what you talked about are some of the basic needs. And, unfortunately, I'd love to say yes. In our community, if you don't have enough food, there's always something that can be done. But a large part of what the two entry agencies do is try and make referrals and connect families to resources. So whether it's looking at WIC or food stamps or connecting them with other community resources, that is a large part of what they do. And then the other thing is making sure they have access to ongoing medical care. So that's going to be really important for mom, prenatally, and definitely for the postpartum visit, as well as for the baby in terms of having access to the pediatrician on an ongoing basis.
And you've been overseeing these programs for a long time. Do you see that pretty much all moms are the same? You said, anyone sadly can have a preterm baby, but are the concerns the same? Are the worries the same, whether I'm from Wellington or from Riviera Beach or from Miami or from, the Treasure Coast? Are they all kind of the same?
Yeah, I mean, by and far what we see are the two most obvious areas of concern is really wanting what's best for their child. And then I think ongoing questions of, is this normal? Is there anything that I should be concerned about? And so part of what we also want to have available through the services that we fund is that ability to have a resource where the family can check in. We know it's tough being a parent, and that ability to have somebody kind of affirm that what you're doing well, and that your child is developing typically becomes, I think, a really important for parents to kind of continue to do the work that's so important for them to be the best parent possible. And I would say, one of the things that really is striking is every parent wants what's best for their child. And so it becomes a really nice opportunity to join with a family when you both know you're working in the best interest of your child.
I agree. And I think that crosses all cultural barriers and all
Definitely.
economic barriers. Before we meet some of these people that are so helpful in your programs, let's talk real quickly about the text program that Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies have. I wish they had this when I had my children, because what a great resource. We want to get that out there for people who are watching.
Definitely. So the program you're referring to is called Text for Baby. It's actually a national program. Really, it was developed with an idea that social media is something that is available regardless of who you are in the U.S.
Exactly.
And it becomes, I think, a really great way to be able to get timely information into the hands of expectant families and then families during that first year of life. So we can definitely leave some information about how to enroll in the program. It's available at no cost. So 96% of cell phone users will not be charged anything to receive the text. You enroll based on your estimated delivery date, and then on a weekly basis, you'll get up to 3 texts with important information about what's going on with you and your baby while pregnancy, and links to resources, information, phone numbers that you can contact to get additional information. It comes with some great tips or suggestions of things that you might want to explore with your doctor, as well as some of the things that we talked about, some of the social supports that really become important for you to be able to have as best pregnancy as possible.
I love that. I love using social media for positive.
Yes, definitely.
And Children's Services Council will put that information up, and we'll put your links up for all these programs that they are supporting here in Palm Beach County. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony.
Great information.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And as we said, some of the providers that are doing the work that Tanya so eloquently spoke about are here in the studio. We're going to meet them next right after this.
We're Children's Services Council of Palm Beach County. For almost 30 years, we've worked hard to make sure our children in Palm Beach County grow up healthy, safe, and strong. Today, we provide funding for more than 50 programs that help families every day raise our next generation. Our mission is to invest early in our children when it matters most, so our whole community thrives. Your Children's Services Council. Visit us online.
Thank you for staying with us. We're going to tell you a little bit more now about having that healthy baby. I'm welcoming Denise DeFazio. She's a nurse with Nurse Family Partnership. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Nice to be here.
And Jennifer Boughton, you are a registered dietitian with 2 different programs under the CSC umbrella.
Yes.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
So, Denise, I'm going to start with you because we heard a lot from Tanya about just one-on-one and that support that some nurses give some pregnant women and women that are about to get pregnant. Talk a little bit about why that's important and what kind of relationships you're forming.
Well, when we go out to see our clients, they're usually, they're supposed to be before 26 weeks gestation. The earlier we see them, the earlier we can make sure they're taking their vitamins, they're getting into prenatal care. And it's also easier for us to form a bond with them, a partnership in, getting excited about their pregnancy. I always tell the girls that I see, I'm going to be your cheerleader, we're going to get you through this pregnancy. And, we visit frequently. We visit every week, the first couple of weeks, and then we go to every other. And then when the baby's born, we're usually there. They're usually calling us from the hospital, I had my baby. Can you come today?
Oh, that's so sweet.
Then we visit once a week for 6 weeks again, just to make sure they're doing okay. They know how to change the diaper. I mean, we teach them all this before the baby comes.
But once the baby comes, you're a different mindset.
Absolutely. And it's wonderful. And we stay with them until the children are 2.
Wow.
And we become like a member of the family, a confidant. We try and get them to go back to school if they've stopped, and reach goals. Goals are a big thing.
And I know
short-term
goals are a big thing. Tanya talked about as well.
Yeah.
And I know both of you are really, that's what this program and the other nursing programs are about, is reaching goals. One of the goals, and I know this is really important from my own history, is really eating right and making sure that even if you don't have everything in your fridge that's
Right.
from the right food groups, at least you have some of it.
Correct.
Is that your whole role throughout the pregnancy?
Oh, yes, definitely. I look at nutrition as the foundation for mom and baby. So as they grow, and especially when mom is going through her pregnancy, she's getting more healthy, and it's preparing her for that, the labor and delivery where the hard work, really is. So, I usually go into their home and make, minor changes, show where they can improve. I actually, they become my friend in a sense, because they'll have somebody call them and they'll tell them, oh, I can't talk now, my dietitian is here.
Now, but truthfully, I know that obviously when you're pregnant, even if maybe you weren't a healthy eater, you want to be, because you want what's best for your baby, as we were saying earlier. But how is there big changes that they have to make, or you find most moms kind of know the basics?
Most moms really do know the basics. They get overwhelmed with so much that is going on. So I like to start off with small, attainable goals. Maybe including a vegetable in one of the 3 meals that you eat a day, and then next week add another vegetable, so then you're having vegetables at 2 of your meals. Slow steps,
Okay.
so where they could, before they know it, they're eating, their 2 to 3 servings of vegetables a day. They're having their protein, they're having their whole grains, and they're having a more well-balanced diet, with them not even realizing that they did it.
Oh, that's great. That's
Baby
great.
steps, right?
Baby
Yes,
steps,
baby
no pun
steps.
intended. So the whole goal really, as we keep saying, is a healthy pregnancy and not a premature pregnancy. Denise, you know what that's like. Your own daughter was born.
Yes, she was born at 26 weeks gestation.
Wow.
She was a 1 pound, 4 ounce baby.
That's tiny, tiny,
Very tiny. And I was a nursery nurse at one of the local hospitals at the time. I had never seen a baby as small as my daughter. And it was scary, I have to say. So when it was time for me to go back to work, I was kind of recruited, and all the nurses that I worked with, whenever we would get a referral for a mom with a preemie, Denise, will you take it? Or, I'd get calls in the field, can you just talk to this mom? She's so upset. And, it's very difficult. And unless you've been in those shoes, it's really hard to explain the emotions and the sadness, and picture being so excited to be pregnant, especially me. I was 42, right? My first baby, probably my own baby. And never got to wear my maternity clothes. Baby shower was long after she was born, because we didn't know
Wow.
if she would survive. Those types of things. And the funny things would be, my daughter sitting in the carriage in Publix, and moms who know are looking at this tiny little, 10-pounder sitting up, holding on, looking around. And they're like, oh, and you could just see them like, oh. So,
But today she's healthy and happy
She's
and
healthy
studying
and-
away to be a pastry chef. So
That's
there was
right.
a happy
Yes.
ending. And that's
Yes.
really what both of you all are all about, is a
Yeah.
happy ending, and it's a possible happy ending.
Right.
We're going to take a second, because you do visit a lot of great moms, and we have the chance to go visit one of them and kind of see what you all are doing every day.
It'd be fun.
We'd like to share that story.
Come on in, Denise.
Here I am with all my stuff as usual. So how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Look at your little one.
When Melissa Archambault found out she was expecting, she was a bit overwhelmed.
I was scared. Didn't know what to do. I just had lost my father and I was a lost soul.
Through the Children's Services Council, she found out about a program that partners nurses, like Denise, with expectant moms like Melissa.
First time I met Denise, I was nervous, didn't know what to expect, and now it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Denise comes once a week, and then she comes every other week, and now she's here to help me with Peyton.
At the start, Denise met with Melissa every week. She brought lessons on what to know about pregnancy and staying healthy during those crucial months. Melissa says she had plenty of questions.
I asked her mainly questions about pregnancy that I didn't know, like some questions, for instance, what kind of medicines I could take, and if she had the answer, she answered me correctly and helped me out.
So when you feed her, how much does she drink?
4 to 5 ounces now.
Okay, so
Slowly but surely, the two formed a relationship built on trust and the mutual goal of having a healthy newborn.
I was surprised with, that being pregnant and having a stressful environment does affect the baby. You could tell, the baby does move more inside of you when you are stressful, and then when you're relaxed, the baby's relaxed. And now, we try not to have a stressful environment at all for the baby, so she stays happy.
Little Peyton was born early but healthy. Both mom and daughter came home, and Denise was there to be part of the new family.
9 pounds, 6.5 ounces.
Denise now comes and teaches me things about parenthood and not pregnancy anymore. She teaches me how to be a great mom, and she interacts with the baby, and she checks her weight and measurements sometimes.
Oh, that can't be possible. 21.5?
New mom Melissa believes the nurse-family partnership and programs just like this one are crucial to new mom's success as a future parent.
Okay, little one. Okay.
I probably wouldn't have been as confident without Denise, because she was like my security blanket. She helped me out a lot. If I was by myself, I think I would have called the doctor a lot more, and not knowing a lot about like little symptoms that you do get that's normal during pregnancy. So yeah. But with Denise, I was more confident about it.
Just like mom, right? Just like mom. Here you go. Thank you. She's doing really well. You're doing such a good job with her. Thank you.
The best thing that I could say is that if you have no knowledge at all, this program is absolutely wonderful. It teaches you all the skills you need, teaches you breastfeeding, teaches you how to be a great mom, and it teaches you everything that you pretty much need to know about being the best pregnant lady and the best mom you could possibly be.
So obviously your relationship with Melissa was just so crucial and still is to the healthy development. Let's expound upon that with both of you, relationships, both for you working with them, but also when it comes to setting a healthy table. It's not easy to do it on your own. Everyone in that support system, whether it's your grandparents, your aunt and uncles, your sister, your husband, whomever, they need to buy into this, right? Denise, let's start with you first.
They do. The family has to be there and be supportive to them, whether it be in what they're eating, giving up smoking, drinking, any bad habits they might have come up with during their pregnancy. My case, it was eating chili dogs.
Oh, wow, that must have been fun.
So, and she has been the perfect client. I mean, she's done so well. And when you see her with her baby, it just makes you feel like, I was in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. And Jennifer, I know it's even more important that the eating portion, if you have a husband, say, who loves to drive through a fast food restaurant and order fast food, but you're really trying to do what Jennifer says and eat your vegetables and eat your fruit. How does that work? How do you convince the support system to stay on track?
Well, we'll sit and talk about, okay, I understand you like to go through your fast food. Let's go through the fast food and find out what is the more healthier option. That way, it comes to a compromise. You're not giving up the fast food, but you are looking for the healthier option. So you have the benefit of both.
Exactly.
And I'm finding a lot of the times is I usually start off with the mom, and then I hear other family members piping in, well, what can I do about myself, and what can I,
of course,
to make me feel a little bit better and, reduce my blood pressure. So I like it when the family becomes involved with the visit when I go and see the moms, because it is a family affair.
Definitely. And your program you work with, Prenatal Plus, through Children's Services Council, it's not just nutrition. You're doing the nutrition portion.
Correct.
But you all are providing a broad scope of help for both the pregnant woman and the support system.
Correct.
How important is that? I mean, you've done this for a long time, Denise.
Yes.
Maybe a mom doesn't have a support system, and maybe you all, the Prenatal Plus, the WIN program, become the support system. And that's available for a lot of women out there. How important is that?
It's very important. Sometimes we are their only friend. I mean, it's sad to say, but a lot of people, the positions they happen to find themselves in, you know, so we give support, we give community resources. If they need counseling, we can get them that. We can get them all kinds of help, whether it be supplies for their baby. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm going to bring you a crib.
Right,
no,
but you can
I can
hook
give
them
you
up
resources.
with someone, one of the Children's Services
Absolutely.
Council's
Yes.
grantees or
Right.
programs or whatever.
Yeah, so, and we're very, very fortunate here in Palm Beach County that we have a lot of great agencies that help us do this. They help us be successful.
We definitely do, without
Yes,
question.
absolutely.
And one of the things I want to make clear when we're talking about resources is this is for anyone. I mean, you must be a great spokesperson for just because you live in a certain zip code doesn't mean your eating habits are good.
No.
Right?
Right,
Because I live
right.
in a certain zip code and my eating habits are not good. So I'm the perfect example. So, you know, I want to make sure everyone knows this is not one zip code, one socioeconomic
Right.
population. This is really across the board that you all are giving this coaching, this advice, this nutritional guidance to.
Yes.
Is that right, Jennifer?
Yes, we serve everybody in Palm Beach County, you know, and I'm from North Florida, and I'm thinking to myself, this is such a benefit for a nutritionist or a nurse to go out to a pregnant woman's home and give her that extra support. Because yes, she's going to have the support from the doctor, her doctor and everything, and her family, but to get that extra advice, you know, on how to eat healthy or how to change the baby or, you know, things like that's, you know, insurmountable to
Exactly.
the amount of
Yeah.
resources that we have.
Especially because you two are the experts. So I could tell my daughter or a grandparent could tell their daughter, but when you two come in, you're the experts. I think they hear it differently.
My nurse said.
My
Yes,
nurse said,
my
my dietitian
dietitian
said, and either on the positive or the negative, you know, maybe it's not such a good influence, but they'll say, well, my nurse said smoking's not good, or my nurse said I shouldn't have that glass of wine. And that third-party expert really helps solidify their determination to have a healthy pregnancy.
And we're so trusted, really. Very,
nice.
very trusted by the people that we serve. I mean, we knock on their door and they let us in, and you know, we tell them, and if they want us, we're back in a week, and if they don't, well, you know, there's somebody else that'll take their place.
That's so nice.
yeah,
That's so
it's
nice. Well, thank you
wonderful.
both for joining us. Such great information.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us. It was fun.
And thank you for joining us. As always, we give you a lot of information. I know it can be a bit overwhelming, so we're going to put that information back up on the screen. Again, we'll see you next time on Growing Up Strong.